All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a few minutes to look at the Faces of Learning Learner Sketch tool so that you can take your advisees through this process this year. Our URL is facesoflearning.net. That will bring you to this webpage. Feel free to explore anything on this webpage that you're interested in. You could look at some of the stories that other people have contributed about their unique learning. The part that we're interested in is the Explore Your Learner Sketch. If you click Explore Your Learner Sketch, it is going to open up a new page for us that says Your Learner Sketch tool. The first part says search for my school, so if I start to type Wasatch Academy, it will appear. I choose Wasatch Academy. The student is going to enter their email address. I'm going to use my daughter's just for example, and then click the green arrow to enter. For a new user, it's going to ask them to create a 4-digit PIN. If the student went through this process last year, it may ask them to remember their PIN. Unfortunately, a lot of our students won't remember their PIN, and it may need to be reset. I can do that if you send me an email of students who need to have their PINs reset. I can do that. So we're just going to create a quick PIN and move forward. It gives a new user setting, and we're going to select learner because we're dealing with students. Then it's going to give us a school year option. We're going to click 2014-2015, and then it says select professor. This is where I want you to actually choose the advisor. So everyone in your group should choose your name. Unfortunately, it's not alphabetical, but hopefully you can look through and find your name. So Emma's advisor is, and this is Becca Eldrith. So we'll click on her name and then move forward. So then we're going to get this piece here that gives us instructions on how to use this interface. Students will move an object from the middle to either this is so me or not me at all. So they'll just grab something and slide it over to the part that makes most sense for them. And if they don't feel strongly one way or the other, they leave it in the middle. So let's get started. I easily recall shapes, symbols, and images. I feel like that represents me, so I'm going to stick it there. I think through things, working on taking my time, check my work. I think that fits. I can mentally juggle lots of information and many ideas at the same time. I'm just going to leave that in the middle. I can usually stick with demanding work without feeling mentally tired. That's not really... So anyway, you see the student will just kind of walk through these and think about the ones that they think apply to them or the ones that don't apply to them and add them to either board or just leave them in the middle if they don't think it applies to them either way. So it'll take a little bit just to go through these, so I'm just going to run through it real quick without paying much attention to what I'm doing, just for example. And again, I'm not really thinking about what I'm doing here. So the results that you get at the end aren't indicative of my daughter in any way, but just for example. So we get to the end, congrats, you're finished with the survey section of Learner Sketch. Let's take a look at your results. So we can click Explore, and this will show some of their strengths and challenges. So movement control, getting along with others, spatial thinking, keeping track of time, attention, complex thinking, language, memory. These are the neurodevelopmental constructs, but using a language that the creators of the interface think is a little more accessible to a first-time user. So we can actually click on memory and get a little piece about memory here to help the students understand what memory is. There's other links here they can push, learn more through Luminosity or Brain Connection. So some resources for you to understand memory. Same thing exists with each of the constructs. You can then click the Strategies tab to start finding strategies to help them in this particular area. So if a student has a weakness or a perceived weakness in keeping track of time or order, they can click here and look at what they said, how what they said connects to that construct. Some strategies that may help them are listed here underneath. So again, the students are able to find some strategies that connect to any perceived strengths or weaknesses that they have identified. If you click the plan tool, here's your plan. It contains the strategies you decided to use. Once you have reviewed your plan, press Approve Plan below. So they can pick which strategies they think, excuse me, I'm going to go back to the Strategies tab. They can pick the strategies that they think are the ones most likely to help them. And then when you're in plan, you can click Approve the Plan, and then you can print it, you can email it, you can get a text link. I suggest you have your students email it to themselves and share that with you so that you have it on file. That's it. You've explored your strengths and weaknesses. Now it's time to get your report through the options below. Again, have them email it to themselves, and to share that with you so that you have a copy of it as well. This can be a good starting point for conversations with your students about their individual learning strengths and weaknesses, what they perceive their strengths and weaknesses to be, and a good entry point for you to talk to them about selecting strategies to use in the classroom. If you notice that your advisee is struggling in a particular class, this is a good thing to go to and to share with the teacher from that class. Here are strategies that the student has identified that may work for them in your class. How can we implement those strategies? So again, this is a conversation starter between the advisor and the advisee about their strengths and weaknesses. And it's also a good tool for you to go back to when engaging in a conversation with your colleagues about a particular student. I hope that helps. Thanks.